Essex struggled a little with the bat again on the first day of their latest LV County Championship match with Northamptonshire at Wantage Road, in spite of half-centuries for Jesse Ryder and Nick Brown. Brown dominated an opening partnership of 48 with Jake Mickleborough after James Foster had won the toss and decided to bat first. His team starting this fixture at the foot of the championship table after last week's surprise defeat at home to Leicestershire. Northamptonshire also lost last week in Cardiff, but struck for the first time here in the 11th over when Mickleborough let a ball from Stephen Crook strike him on the pad in front of his stumps. Early on, Brown appeared to be playing a different game from the one at the other end, and he had 51 of the 84 runs on the board after his 9th boundary took the left-hander to his 50 off 72 deliveries. He was making the most of what looked like good conditions to bat in. In such conditions, Tom Wesley would have been furious with himself for taking on a single to mid-off, which was never really on. He was well short when Crook, who stopped the ball excellently, hit the stumps. Brown had made 57 of the 106 runs on the board at lunch, but he then fell after adding just one more run on the restart. A thin edge off Rory Kleinfeldt being scooped up behind the stumps by Ben Duckett. Ryder picked up where Brown had left off, the left-hander producing some exquisite strokes as he soon moved ahead of Ravi Bopara at the other end. Thus far there had been a good and fair battle between bat and ball on this surface, one which offered something to both. Essex were on 147 for 4 when Bopara on 17 edged Azarullah to Alex Wakely, who was back leading his county after missing the last game while on paternity leave. There was little to choose between the two teams at this stage, but then it was the visitors who began to get themselves ahead, and that was largely down to Ryder, who made a 50 off 81 balls, that being his 7th 4. Having made a good start, the hard-hitting Kiwi needed to go on just to restore some confidence to a team which has hit the buffers of late. Ryder celebrated that with a big 6 off Ollie Stone, the ball screaming into the distance right off the middle of the bat. Ryder was well backed up by Ryan Tender-Scarter, who, for the most part, played well within himself as the game's situation dictated. That allowed his partner to express himself, the partnership between these two, moving up to 90. Essex now in a pretty good position on 237 for 4. Yet they were all out for 276, the slide starting when Ryder, 13 away from his 100, used the back of his bat to send a ball from Crook into the hands of Stephen Peters. Rob Keogh, a much improved spinner this year, then made the most of the old ball. Duckett just about held on to a chance offered by Tender-Scarter, who was out for 32. Graham Napier went for a big drive and was bowled by a Turner for 5. And Adil Malik was also bowled as he missed a sweep, Wakely being rewarded for delaying taking the second new cherry. Keogh had a career best 3 for 35. There was no need for the new ball after Kleinfeldt trapped David Masters in front in the next over, before he finished off the innings in the same one as Reece Topley had his stumps shattered. Essex all out for 276. Foster left stranded on 21, an innings which saw him past 12,000 first-class runs. Essex had lost their last 6 wickets for 39 runs in 10 overs after Ryder was dismissed. The collapse gave Rob Newton, given a chance at the top of the order, and Peters a dozen overs to survive, and that they did in knocking off 43 runs, which just about made this their day. Certainly the last session very much belonged to Northamptonshire. They will go again on the second morning, 233 runs behind, with Newton on 21 and Peters on 15. Northamptonshire know that they will have a good chance to forge a decent lead on day 2.